Welcome to the Missouri Freedom Initiative. Today is Saturday, the 30th of April, 2022. Hey, gang, I've got a special request for you this weekend, and we did cover it in our live stream a couple of nights ago on Thursday, but I wanted to cover it again, and I'll make this as quick as I can. So I'm going to talk a little fast, and some people can't handle, me talking at all, but talking faster makes it worse. I'll do my best. We're talking about HJR79. So let's forget everything else we dealt with this year because Dean Plocher made it virtually impossible for the things that we truly cared about this year, the things that we had really wanted to get done in the state that would enhance liberties and freedoms for everyone in the state of Missouri. One man, Dean Plocher, the House floor leader, not decided single-handedly, his corporate sponsors and people who contribute to his campaign and him have now ultimately decided what's best for the state of Missouri. Now, we have a process to get around Dean Plocher, and that's called the Ballot Initiative. Now, there's 21 states in the United States that allow for a ballot initiative. And we have the loosest regulations / laws for a ballot initiative out of those 21 states. So hence, IP reform became a very, very big issue for the General Assembly in Missouri in the year 2022. So much so that we found a grand total of 15 plus two, possibly two more, actual bills in our General Assembly to tighten and constrict the regulations, making it harder to get something on the ballot by passing our state legislature or General Assembly. So there's only two that have made it to the point where they're close to being passed. Now, one of them is still lying around and didn't get through, but one of them did, and that's HJR79. HJR79 is definitely a threat to liberties of the citizens or residents of the state of Missouri because it makes it so darn difficult to bypass our state assembly. To collect enough signatures, we have to go to many more places to collect signatures. And then also on the vote side, if we do get enough signatures, they make the vote count, basically to get it passed so darn difficult. So HJR 79 is a threat to our liberties, but we understand why they're doing it. Because we have these loose regulations, people like George Soros and Mike Bloomberg can come into the state, pay petitioners to go and collect signatures for legislation that is very bad for Missouri. On top of which, we don't have a system to actually accurately portray what that initiative is in plain language, so it's not so ambiguous to the people of Missouri before they actually go and vote in the polls. So it's a mess. But we do understand there's a problem, but we don't want to take away the ballot initiative process for us to bypass the General Assembly when we have people like Dean Plocher in the General Assembly that we can't seem to stop. We'll deal with that later, gang. We're not dealing with that right now, but we'll talk about that later, trust me. So what we need to do is call up our senators, not just call, but email our senators this weekend and let them know that HJR 79 is simply not acceptable. It's simply a no-go. There's two things we can do here, and I'll tell you what they are. HJR 132 is put out by Representative Hicks, and this is a much, much better bill to deal with IP reform or the ballot initiative process. The problem is Dean Plocher single-handedly decided that this one shouldn't be allowed on the floor for a vote to go to the Senate. So thank you for that, Dean Plocher. But at any rate, okay, I'm going to stop about the Dean Plocher thing. This is important. There's two things we can do here. Either we kill 79 or we replace the language in HJR 79 and replace it with the language from HJR 132, which is a better bill. I can go into the differences. We discussed that on Thursday night. If you don't know the differences, please go back because it's kind of complicated. But I did go through that and I read both bills on Thursday night on the live stream. So just go back one video to see all the details on this. But at any rate, for liberty and for freedom, HJR 132 is a much, much better option. And by the way, I want to say thank you to everyone who went up to Jefferson City, their time, their gas money, And, basically to come up on Rally Day, Missouri Carry Day, which was Tuesday, August 26th, this was 5 days ago, to actually go and walk the halls of the Senate with our group. And we had quite a big group. And it was very inspiring for me. In fact, I just talked to Jimmy's wife on the phone a little while ago to let her know, basically, Jimmy would have been proud, basically with the turnout and also the ability for us to go to so many senators' offices, speak to senators, speak to their LAs, their legislative assistants, and actually let them know that HJR132 exists. So I think we made a lot of progress there. I think we made an impact. But we can't be certain on this because we can't let 79 through. It simply can't. And if it does go through, we'll come up with a process to make sure that the people of Missouri know to vote it down if it goes on the ballot, because there are better options. We have a problem in Missouri with our ballot initiative process, but there are better ways to fix it, and HJR 132 is the best solution that's available at this time. It's certainly a better option for us as Missouri residents, as Missouri citizens, to be able to bypass the General Assembly. Let's put it that way. So please call your senators. Email your senators this weekend. And I know they're not in. Just leave a voicemail if you would, please. And also send an email. And I know some of you may say, well, I've already done that. I already did call. I already did send an email about this issue. If you have, thank you. First off, thank you very much. Secondly, please do it again. And remember, the message is very simple. HJR79, this bill right here from Mike Henderson, is simply not acceptable for Missourians. It's a no-go. It can't be allowed. So either kill it or amend it to look like HJR 132, which is a very good bill. That's very simply what the message is. I also want to remind you one more thing. I know and by the way, again, thank you to everyone who came up to Jefferson City. I mentioned you all by name on Thursday night. And I am extremely appreciative that you came up and like I said, walk the halls of the Senate and talk to senators and LAs with us. That was beautiful, and it was very moving for me personally. But I want to talk about Conservatives Against Corruption, and they have Lobby Day on May 3rd. That's this coming up Tuesday. And what it is yet another day to go around the Senate to sew this up, to make sure that 79 does not get through, it dies, or the language is replaced with language from 132, which is very acceptable to freedom-loving, Missourians. So look at this page and sign up if you can. I've already signed up, and by the way, it's still a little bit iffy for me. You guys know my mom's in the hospital up in Minnesota, and I may be going up to Minnesota. If I don't, I will definitely be here. I will definitely be in Jeff City on May 3rd. So we're talking about 10:30 in the morning on Sunday. If you can only come during your lunch hour, and that happened with Goatfoot Grant, who was there on Tuesday. And thank you for coming along with us, Goatfoot. Very much appreciated. He took an extended lunch break to come and talk to the senators with us. And if that's all you can do, that's wonderful. But if you can go, basically here is the sign-up form. It's listed right down below. And it's 10:30 a.m. and basically it's as long as you can be there. Mostly everyone's gone from the Senate by about 7 p.m. There's still people there, literally that late sometimes in the Senate, so you can still go talk to them. But at any rate, all things being equal, this is one more lobby day to work on this and get this done. And Ron Calzone will be there. You see, Benjamin will be there from Show Me Integrity. About a 90% chance I will be there. I know Casey Rich said he would be there. Looks like Gary Ride is going to be there as well. I mean, a lot of our folks are showing up for this. So we can do this yet one more time. And so right now, as I look on this page, I don't know if you guys can see that, 7 people so far have signed up. And but this is the page to sign up, and basically what it is they're going to print up materials for us. So basically that's why they want to know how many people are going. So if you can, fill this out. if you're not comfortable filling out a form online, and we do have some people in the initiative that don't want to sign up for things like this, they're just going to show up. That's okay. Let me know. Just call me or email me or let me know in the comment section that you're going, but you're not going to fill out the form. And that way I can get that to Benjamin so he just knows, to get a few more materials ready for us. So at any rate, that's the message for today. And I want to stress again how incredibly important it is that things like HJR79 never get through. Never. And Dean Plocker and what he did to all the legislation that we were pushing this year, what he did to all of those pieces of legislation is a perfect example of why we have to keep our ballot initiative process in the state of Missouri. Because when Dean Plocker and his political backers and his financial backers are literally setting the stage, setting the tone for what bills get to go through our legislature single-handedly, all by himself, doing that, we're going to have a rules change up in the House because this can't be allowed to happen again. And by the way, I speak very openly about this while I'm up in Jeff City too. Those of you who walk the halls with us actually saw me talking about this. Dean Plocker is a problem. He's definitely a problem. He's unrepentant for his sins in the House up in Missouri, for what he did to Susie Pollock, for lying, for colluding with Rudy Veit. So this is why we have a ballot initiative process, to be able to get around these issues. We can go direct to the voters if we have a floor leader or a speaker that is not listening to the people of Missouri. So this is how important this is. We keep this. We'll deal with, the power structure in the House later. And we'll deal with, Dean Plocker too. But for right now, we just need to stop this from going through. And like I said, if it does go through, we have additional planning and additional work to do to prevent the voters. Because once again, HJR79, if it goes through, does go to a vote of the people. Now, if it's HJR132, that also goes to a vote of the people. But that is, like I said, that is very palatable to those who are into freedom and liberty. HJR79, not so much. Guys, that would permanently leave all the power for everything that happens in the state of Missouri with the General Assembly and then take it away from us. That's what HJR79 essentially does. We can't bypass them to get bills done. We can't bypass them and go direct to the voters for good ideas. And it's very arrogant. It's very arrogant for people in Jeff City to think that they have the best ideas, because that's not the case. Most of the good ideas that end up in bills come from private citizens. I don't know if you guys know this, but it happens to be true. Most of the bills in Jefferson City do not come from the representatives or senators. They come from citizens that literally write up, a bill, or actually write up an outline and give it to their representative and senator and say, I would like this to become a law in the state of Missouri. That's how these things happen. I'm kind of curious where HJR79 came from. I'll have to talk to Mike Henderson about that and see if he'll let me know if that came from him from a lobbyist of some sort, or if he wrote it himself. I don't know. Okay, guys, that's it for now. Everything relevant will be in the description section, and that includes the roster for the senators. So just call your senator. Just email your senator this weekend is all I'm asking for. We'll talk about this again tomorrow night on our live stream. And remember, Tuesday, May 3rd is lobby day if you can go. That's a lot to ask people. It's time and it's gas money. And God only knows gas money, it's twice what it was this time last year. So I know the hurt. I'm feeling it too, gang. But keeping Missouri free is something that's extremely high on the priority list. So, if you could sacrifice somewhere else to have a little bit of gas money to go up to Jeff City, and it's short notice, and I apologize about that. The reason why our lobby day, which was Carry Day, was so successful is we gave everyone literally 5 weeks notice, and every video we did, we were reminding everyone about it. This one's short notice, so we don't expect to have the turnout that we were hoping for, but at any rate, every little bit helps. And your emails and your calls are literally how we start this, and we end it with lobby day to make a big impression on senators that HJR79 is simply cannot happen. Okay, gang, that's all I have. I'm sorry I went on as long as I did. I love you all. Thank you very much for everything you do for our beautiful state of Missouri. It's because of you we retain so much freedom, and we get a little bit more sometimes. But of course, because of Dean Plocker, that couldn't happen this year. Okay, gang, thanks again for watching. May God bless each and every one of you, and we'll see you next time. Actually, tomorrow night. Take care, gang.